Welcome to Shell Navigation Part 2. The following command line will help you to understand all other commands. man space man. As you can see right here, you can see other commands through one command. You can scroll down to see and learn other types of command line. If you want to look for a command line, you can do man space. In case you want mkdir, I'll say mkdir, then I'll press enter. Then you'll see every command line that is associated to mkdir. In case you want to look for another command line, let me say you want to look for rm, you would say man space rm. I'll press enter. Then you'll see every command line which is associated to rm. The next command line is ls. ls will list all files that a folder contains. Then I'll say ls. Then you see what the home directory contains: desktop, downloads, pictures, templates, videos, and so on. The next command line is cd. cd is change directory. In case I want to move to the desktop, I would say cd space desktop. Remember, the first D should be capital. I'll press enter. The next command line is pwd. pwd is print working directory. Currently we are on the desktop. I'll say pwd, then I'll press enter. It indicates a path. It gives a path to our current working directories. It's home, hacker, then desktop. The next command line is gonna be mkdir. mkdir is make directory, which will create a folder. I can create a folder and I can create multiple folders. To create a single folder, I'll say mkdir space count is the name of our folder. I'll press enter. You can see count on the desktop right here. So let's get inside. I'll say cd count. As you can see from the desktop, we are inside count. This is the one right here. I'll create multiple folders inside count directory. So what I'll do, I'll say mkdir, then space, I'll say min for minimum, max for maximum, then avg for average. I'll press enter. All the three folders or directories are created at once. To create multiple nested folders, I would say mkdir. We are creating nested multiple folders, which is mkdir space -p space. My folder name will be cars, cars, then I'll put a /, then make / again model. From there I'll press enter. We can see cars folder is here. So inside cars, I'll be able to see the folder make. It's here. I'll be able to see model. We move on to another command line, rm. rm removes files, folders. By removing a file using rm, I'll create a new file on count. Touch accounts, then I'll press enter. The file accounts is right here. I'll use rm to remove this file. rm space accounts, then I'll press enter. rm can also remove a folder. Let's remove a folder named avg. rm space -r space avg. I'll press enter. avg is gone. Next command line will be mv. mv moves files and folders to any directory. So I'll create a directory named food, mkdir food, then press enter. I'll create two files named apples and veggies. Then I'll say touch apples space veggies. Then I'll press enter. We can see we have apples and veggies. I would like to move both files to food directory. Since we are on the desktop and inside count, which is inside count right here, I'll say mv space veggies space apples to a directory food. I'll put a single dot, then I'll put a forward slash. I'll say food. The files are already inside food, as we can see right here, apples and veggies. Our next command line will be cp. cp is similar to mv. Inside count, I'll create a directory named subject. So I'll say mkdir space subject, then I'll press enter. From there on, I'll create a file named math. So I'll say touch math. I'll press enter. As we can see, we have a file here, math, and we have subject. So I'll copy this file here to this folder. So what I'll do, I'll say cp space math space, I'll put a dot, then I'll say forward slash subject. I'll press enter. We'll go inside subject so that we see this one has been copied to subject folder. We have math here. Our next command line will be touch. We've been using touch each and every time. Touch will create an empty file. For an example, inside the folder count, I'll create a file named accounts. Touch space accounts, then I'll press enter. As you can see, accounts is here. This is an empty folder. It contains nothing. Our next command line will be echo. Let's create a file named cool. To create a file with text content, I would say echo space, I'll put double or single quotes, single quote. I would say this is cool, then I'll put a single quote, and this will be the text which will be written onto our file named cool.txt. So from here I'll put a space, then I'll put a greater than, I'll say cool.txt. Remember, we have to put an extension for us to read what is inside. So I'll press enter. Cool.txt is right here. So what we have to do now, we have to add text to an existing file. Using the same command line echo, we'll have to print something inside a file. I would say I want to print a text inside math. Echo space double quotes or single quotes is fine. Math is good. Then I'll put double quotes. So remember, when we created this file cool.txt, we had a single greater than sign. Now since we are writing to the existing file, so we have to put double greater than signs. Then I'll say, we put a space, we say math is our file. I'll press enter. Now it is turned into a txt file, so we can read from there. I'll open the file. We have this text here, math is good. Our next command line will be cat. cat is used to display the content of your file. Let me say I want to see what is inside cool.txt. I would say cat space cool.txt. I'll press enter. This is the text which is inside cool.txt. Let's open. As you can see, this is cool. It's the same text. Thank you for making it this far, and I'll see you in the next video.